Rhythm games, the classic video game genre where you are tasked to press certain buttons in sync with music. Whether you're a hardcore sweat who takes frequent visits to Round 1 to play on your flashy Japanese tabs, and then you play one of your 10 plus different mobile games when you're not there, or you're just someone with some fond memories of busting out the classic guitars with friends and family while Uncle Bob belts out some Pearl Jam, you're probably at least familiar with the genre and have had some experience or another playing a dedicated rhythm game title. However, you've probably encountered rhythm games more than you realize. Lots of video games from many different genres have felt the need to sneak in some mini-games into their titles. And what would you know it, a small little rhythm game fits the bill perfectly. Let's take a look at just some of the rhythm games sprinkled throughout the world of video games. Let's start off with what you might have seen on this video's thumbnail. The Yakuza series is well known for having plenty of wacky diversions and attractions alongside its captivating story, and among all these side activities lies quite a few rhythm games. You've probably seen Kiryu singing along to the absolute banger that is Bakken Tai, with traditional gameplay of pressing the notes on screen corresponding to the song. But there's some wackier ones throughout the series, such as the Disco minigame, where you have to try to navigate along the grid passing through as many squares as you can before hitting the next note. The Booyah Dance minigame from Like a Dragon Ishin, where each button on your controller gets its own note lane in this interesting circular layout. Or the dance battles in Yakuza 5, you have to select which lane you're playing in so you can actually hit your notes, and then style on your opponent with sick poses. I've never played any of these, so I can't vouch for how fun they are or how they feel to play, but I recognize some of these songs just through cultural osmosis, and they keep making these games, so they must be doing something right. While we're yapping about games well known for having tons of minigames, let's jump right to probably the most well known of all. The Mario Party series sports over 1,000 different minigames throughout the decade-long series, and a few rhythm games have found their way into the mix. Early titles feature minigames such as Mario Bandstand and Toad Bandstand, containing the traditional gameplay of hitting a button to corresponding notes on a track in either a free-for-all or 2 vs 2 format. Move to the Music, a 1v3 minigame in similar fashion, but sprinkling in some memorization into the mix, and The Beat Goes On, which forfeits most of the rhythm game part of the challenge entirely to instead challenge how much you can remember. The newest entries, Super Mario Party and Super Mario Party Jamboree, feature entirely dedicated rhythm game modes, Soundstage and Rhythm Kitchen, showcasing the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con's gyro controls and HD rumble as you challenge your friends in a series of quick and varied minigames. Mario Party's rhythm games don't have much technical challenge, and the minigames can often end in draws if your group knows what they're doing, but I've shown they can shine when they introduce other aspects that can shake up the traditional rhythm gameplay. Another minigame collection type series living on a different company's home console is Fusion Frenzy, a launch title in the US for the original Xbox that substitutes Mario Party's bright and colorful atmosphere for a more gritty and futuristic one. Within its minigames lies 3 rhythm minigames, all built off the same root premise but with various gimmicks sprinkled throughout. The simplest one, appropriately given the simplest name, Rhythm, as you simply press the buttons as they simply make their way up the note lane. This is the first minigame I've shown so far that actually includes scoring based on the accuracy of your timing, and also provides point bonuses if you get longer combos, ironically having the most complex scoring of the minigames we've looked at so far. Scratch Match replaces a counting up score with life that drops with each missed note, eliminating you from the game when you hit 0. We lose some of the scoring complexity here, but the charting compensates with a few trickier patterns, and the song increases BPM as it goes, overall adding more difficulty. Finally, we have Mystery Beat, which brings back our accuracy scoring and plays more like Simon Says, where one person creates the chart the other players will have to follow after. This format allows the most complex charting and scoring, really testing the players' mights against each other. Overall, these minigames are solid rhythm games, and while visually not too appealing, are still quite fun to play. Now that we got some of the crud out of the way, let's finally talk about some good party games. SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Pants is another collection of minigames where the main cast of SpongeBob competes for roles in The New Adventures of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. The player scoring the most points in each Talent Scouts collection of minigames earns a specific role in the final film, ultimately fighting to land the lead role of the supervillain. In Squilliam Fancy Sin's audition for the role of Maestro, you play all 3 of the game's rhythm minigames in a row. The first minigame, Rock Bottom, features more traditional rhythm gameplay, with each player having 3 lanes for notes and points rewarded based on accuracy and a multiplier if you keep a combo. The charting is actually really solid despite being a bit simple, as it properly reflects what you hear your character playing. The coolest part about this minigame is that each character plays their own dedicated instrument, so you can replay this minigame with different combinations to hear the songs in many different ways. They also have their own song they play a solo in, and it just kinda rocks. I don't know why they hit so hard on this. The next minigame, Jid on the Bridge, relaxes on the rhythm gameplay and focuses much more on the memory aspect, rewarding those who input Squilliam's commands correctly with some cute animations of your characters getting down crazy style. Nothing fancy, but it's still a bit of a fun one. The final minigame, Beats Me, lands somewhere between the previous two, asking the players to listen to Squilliam's patterns before those put under the spotlight have to repeat it back to him. This minigame is actually pretty particular about which notes you play and that you keep to the beat, and some of the patterns can be a bit tricky for those lacking a sense of rhythm. I remember this one being quite fun. It's the added stress of performing solo, but while your friends judge you, can create some good laughs. All in all, these minigames are pretty solid for rhythm games, and your reward for all of this is just to watch an episode of SpongeBob. I mean, that rules. This game rules. Go play this game. We've been talking about minigame collections for a while, so I want to move on to some games that are focused on one specific genre, but just so happen to squeeze in a rhythm minigame anyway. Splatoon, Nintendo's creative take on third-person shooters where you cover the stage in ink to navigate and eliminate your opponents, features a rhythm minigame titled Squid Beats, which can only be unlocked using the Inkling Squid amiibo and clearing the Ravenous Automa challenge. This minigame features gameplay incredibly reminiscent of Taiko no Tatsuji, having only one lane with notes corresponding to any button on the left side D-pad or the right side base buttons, while you add an extra layer of percussion over any of the 31 songs from the game's soundtrack. There's no judgment on accuracy, scoring is only vaguely represented by the squids turning yellow from left to right, scores aren't saved after playing, and it's only playable on the Wii U gamepad, so I'm really not sure why they went so hard on the charting for a minigame hidden behind an additional accessory, but that's Nintendo for you. We would see this minigame again in Splatoon 2, creatively titled Squid Beats 2, and it's received a lot of polish compared to its predecessor. The gameplay has shifted from something like Taiko to exactly like Taiko, containing two lanes corresponding to either the triggers or face buttons, and now has notes that require you to double up with both hands to be hit. The visuals still maintain a retro look while being a lot more readable. There's now 2 difficulties per song, and it supports accuracy judgment as well as lamps for full combos and all perfects that you can chase throughout the game's 84 tracks. Plus, it's no longer locked behind the not so particularly comfortable Wii U gamepad. The charts are very good, if not all a bit short, and have plenty of challenge to offer for both beginners and experienced players alike. This is easily the closest thing we've seen to a traditional rhythm game so far. Let's take a look at something a bit more wacky. Ring Fit Adventure is an exercise game released for the Nintendo Switch that uses the Ring-Con and Light Strap to guide the player through various exercises as they traverse a new world and defeat various enemies in turn-based combat. As an additional way to burn even more calories on your weight loss journey, an update added a rhythm game mode to get your heart pumping alongside 17 different tracks from both the game's soundtrack and some other well-known Nintendo Switch titles. This new mode, lovingly titled Rhythm Game, has you push and pull on the Ring-Con while leaning to hit the notes in either the left, right, or center lane, while potentially also squatting to hit notes in 3 more lanes below them. There's 2 different notes for either pushing or pulling on the Ring-Con, along with hold notes and catch notes sprinkled in, as well as something comparable to Osu's Spinners, where you have to rotate your whole body left and right as quickly as possible to amass extra points. The score required for the highest ranked on each song is very demanding, and as someone who has 100%ed the entirety of Ring Fit Adventure, the rhythm game mode is surprisingly challenging, and the only thing that still makes me break the sweat even after playing on the hardest difficulty the game has to offer. If you are looking for a rhythm game that's a bit more out there, while also wanting to work up a sweat, this one's an easy sell. Last but not least, I want to talk about the game that sparked the inspiration to make this video in the first place. Not too long ago, I streamed a playthrough of one of my long-forgotten childhood games, Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse, a point-and-click adventure game developed by Capcom that features, wouldn't you guess it, Mickey Mouse exploring a haunted mansion with suspiciously Resident Evil-shaped camera angles while being forced to play minigames by a playful ghost in order to escape. In case you haven't figured out the theme of this video yet, we're going to look at the not just one, but 2 rhythm minigames found throughout the halls of this spooky manor. The first minigame, Dance with Mickey, as you play Simon Says against Shadow Mickey as you both bust it down to the freshest hip-hop beat the 2000s had ever seen. The charts themselves are incredibly simple, but the hit timings feel weirdly nice, and there's just something so satisfying about watching Mickey Mouse break it down in perfect timing synced with the direction you're pressing. The second minigame, Mickey the Guitar Master, as you move your guitar pick to the correct circle before pressing A to hit the notes in this catch-like rhythm game. Once again, the minigame's nothing too fancy, but the charting is synced well with the guitar sounds, and the difficulty is weirdly higher than you'd think for a kid's game. Anyway, the main takeaway from all this is that Mickey can do Hadokens. He truly has it all. And there you go. I look at a few games that dip their greedy hands into the exciting yet questionably niche pot that is rhythm games. Whether they were filler games thrown together to simply hit a quota, or a loving homage to some of rhythm gaming's greats, it's always nice to see a fresh new take on the genre. Feel free to share your experiences with games you've played that have rhythm games sprinkled inside, and maybe I could include them in a future video. Thank you for watching, and now go play some video games. You've earned it.